Good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Friday, August the 3rd of 2018. This is George Papazov. The boys are in the room as well, Mark Victorio. Speaking of Victorio, first of all, he's celebrating a birthday. So I want to wish him a happy birthday. It's tomorrow, so we got a birthday in the room. And I want to show you the birthday kicks that he's wearing. This is actually pretty incredible. Look at this. Yeah, those. Do a little James Brown shuffle here. Back to the market. I really like those shoes, though. Let's talk about what happened this morning. We had a non-farm payrolls report, and we traded it in our elite room live. We had some opportunity, but this was one of the least volatile morning jobs reports, rather, in months that I could remember. So there was some opportunity, but the best opportunity was trading with us and knowing when to pull them and when to put them on. We tried a few trades. Victorio got green slightly, so we're ready for this open. Let's talk to you about a few earnings that came out yesterday. GoPro's up 3.7% on increased demand for their GoPros. I bought one, and I'm pretty sure that it's because TradePro Academy bought a GoPro. The news got out, and everyone got bullish. That had to be it. GoPro's up. MGM Resorts is up 1.6%. Yum Brands up 1.5%. AIG, huge miss, down 5% in the banking sector. So look for financials to be a little bit weaker on the open this morning. And that's it. Those are the big ones. All right, looking at the markets, taking a little tour around the world. In Asia, Japan's up 0.1%. Hong Kong's down 0.1%. China is down another 1%. I'm going to talk to you about China. Something historic happened in the Chinese market as of last night. India is up 1.1%. So overall, equities mixed, but not really big movers overall, rather other than China. All right, in Europe at midday, London's up 0.7%. Paris is up 0.3%. Frankfurt up 0.4%. And in the United States, Dow's up 0.1%, S&P's up 0.1%, Nasdaq's up 0.1%. So pretty much we got a really big rally yesterday. Yesterday's day was really green, and that was on news that Donald Trump was going to increase tariffs from 10 to 25%. This market just has bullish momentum, and so if you're going to go against it, you have to know that you're going against the grain. You're going against the momentum. You could think it needs to go down, but it doesn't need to do what you think. In fact, it probably won't. If you think it's going to go down, it's going to go up. So I'm going to give you the tip. Stop thinking what it's going to do and start watching what it's doing and take advantage of it. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Yesterday, I made a mess out of the equity markets. I was shorting the rally, shorting the rally, shorting the rally. After about 4 consecutive losing trades, and I don't often share numbers with you guys, but I do when you're going to learn from it. It's down about $1,700 on the S&P 500 within 45 minutes. I struggled. I did really bad because I started with a bearish bias. And you often have to remind yourself, take this from me, a bias is not going to help you as a trader. It does nothing for you. It puts you, it's a peril. All right. But then I switched to crude oil, realizing I'm just trading this terrible. Let me reset the chart. Let me look at a different asset. Switch to oil and up about 3,000 on it. Actually, it wasn't 23 something. And so, then they finished green, but I have to give myself a bad grade on the overall performance for continuing to do something that I know is not good. And the reason I share that with you is, as traders, you're never going to sort of come to the computer and feel like you're 100% perfect. When you think you're a perfect trader, that's when I'm going to start shorting you. You're never a perfect trader. We're always growing. We're always at these sort of emotional challenges that we have, and we just got to continue to overcome them and keep moving forward. So anyways, I just want to share that experience with you. Didn't have the best day yesterday, still finished green. Today we're going to get it back. All right, we're going to get back on track and close out the week. Crude oil is down 0.3% along with gold. Bitcoin down 2.5% to the low 7,000s. And the big report today was non-farm payrolls. And for some reason, my non-farm payrolls isn't updating. Here, let me just open the note again. Here we go. All right, so at 8:30, we got the jobs number out of the United States. It came out at 157,000 jobs added in July versus an expectation of 193. Got to scratch my eye. That's a huge miss. Very big miss. Bearish. However, when you're looking at it just like that, black and white, you're going to start to think, oh, this thing is a bearish number. There was more to it. The reason the market didn't go down as much, and we were shorting in the elite room, asked the guys there, were shorting, scratching a trade, shorting, scratching a trade, meaning getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. And the reason it didn't drop as quickly as it should have is this. The back month or the June number was revised higher by 30,000 jobs. So you have a miss by about, 170, 157 versus 193. That's about 38,000 jobs missed this month. Back month revision 30,000 higher. That nets it out to be sort of around the same on a net basis. I still think coming into this day on such a bullish note with a subpar non-farm payrolls report is going to lead to some selling early on in the US session, only for that to reverse around 10:30 in the morning and run the market higher into the close. So I'm looking for bearish bias on the open with the reverse into the upside somewhere 1 hour into the open. All right, that's what we're looking for, to be open and clear. If it opens this morning and it rips 30 points, you better bet I'm not going to be shorting all the way up. This time I'm flipping in and getting long and riding the trend. All right, I learned my thing from yesterday. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, unemployment rate. Remember, the non-farm payroll is a 3-tier report. We had the private jobs number miss. Unemployment rate came down to 3.9% from a 4% prior. The month before, it's surprised by going up. So we basically negated last month's bearishness. So that's neutral. Looking at the average hourly earnings, up 0.3% versus 0.3% expected, but the prior number was 0.1. So in comparison to last month, it's a bullish report. In comparison to the expectations of this month, it's a neutral to bearish report. Slightly bearish, but still it could be accepted as a neutral report, shrugged off, and the market could continue higher. So it didn't really help us this morning. We traded it, we gave it a shot. It didn't really help us. The opportunity wasn't as significant. But if you watch these reports on a monthly basis, on a net total out of 12 months, 9 out of 12, you're going to get a significant move on these numbers. So we had to give it a shot. So Friday starting out neutral. Scratch my way out of 4 trades so far, and I'm looking for some opportunity on the opening bell. All right, that's non-farm payrolls. For the rest of the day, 9:45, you got your services index from the PMI front. 10 a.m., you got ISM non-manufacturing index, and 1 p.m., you got Baker Hughes rig count, which is going to impact oil prices. Right, so we still got a few economic news today that are pretty important. Here's what happened in China. China officially dropped the rank as the world's second biggest stock market. Trivia of the day to the gentleman here in the room. Who took over the second place? Vicky? Yeah. Stock market overall growth. India? Japan. Bingo. Victoria wins on his birthday. That's good. It's a birthday win. We'll give that to you. Japan is now the world's second biggest stock market. Chinese equity is valued at 6.09 trillion. Japan at 6.17. So they're up a little bit higher, but China lost the place as the second biggest stock market in the world. Shanghai Composite Index has lost more than 16% year to date. We at one point dipped into bear market territory, which is a 20% drop or more. And the yuan, the Chinese currency, has dropped 5.3%. Here's something not many traders could tell you, because I don't know why they can't, but I'll tell you, the 5.3% devaluation in the yuan is the most important thing. This is what worries the United States. Them devaluing their currency makes their exports cheaper and actually leads to higher export prices and higher profits. So China devaluing their currency is a way of them combating this trade war that they're starting to get into. That's what the United States doesn't like. They've told them they want to allow the yuan to freely circulate, but they're not doing that. In fact, they're devaluing their currency to boost their exports. That's why the U.S. is getting more aggressive and saying from 10%, we're going to 25%. It has nothing to do with China not wanting to negotiate. It's everything to do with them devaluing their currency. And that's what the U.S. is watching for. So at 8 p.m. every day Eastern, China sets their yuan fix, and that's a very important time for traders over the next couple of weeks. All right. How big do you guys think? Here's another pop quiz. What do you think is the size of the U.S. stock market? China is 6.07 now. Japan 6.17 trillion. 20? Marky, what do you think? 50? Wow, Marky went big. 16 point something trillion. So the U.S. is still 3 times the size of China's market and Japan. So I mean, they're not in danger. We're not in danger of the U.S. losing their pole position. But there is volatility around this trade war. All right. fun little pop quiz. Last piece of news today. Apple yesterday hits a market cap of $1 trillion for the first time. Tim Cook becomes the CEO that brought Apple to $1 trillion, the first company with a 1T valuation. It's a lot of zeros, all right? A ton of zeros behind it. It's the first publicly traded company. I'm sure there's some Saudi Arabian and Middle Eastern oil families that have more than that personally. Putin might have that himself. But anywho, point I'm making is the first public company worth that much money. It's all on the back of their software growth. Their software services include the App Store, software and online services, Apple Care, Apple Pay, iTunes, and cloud services. Their revenue was $9.55 billion, record quarter for Apple. So they hit $1 trillion. And Apple's enthusiasm yesterday to get to that 1 trillion marker, which was at 207.50 per share, was the reason that the markets rallied. It single-handedly pulled the equity market up yesterday. And if you see what happened to Apple, it hit that 207.50 and sold off sharp right after. So it hits the $1 trillion valuation. Here's a question about Apple I'm going to ask you guys. The thing about Apple, what they've done is they've tied their software to their hardware. If you have an iPhone, you're stuck with their cloud services, right? So the ecosystem is very restrictive, and we've known that, which is great. However, remember this, your service sales are directly proportional based on your hardware sales. Because they've closed off their ecosystem, you can't buy an Android and load up all that stuff and use it seamless. You wouldn't do that. Therefore, they are kind of at the same time celebrating a win, but their hardware sales have peaked. They're not selling as many iPhones, or they're not increasing their growth of iPhones. I'm going to tell you this. If hardware sales go down, services are going to drop as well. And that's kind of single-handedly been responsible for the trillion valuation and what could shoot them in the foot at the same time. That's Apple. Watch Apple today above 07.5. It's still a $1 trillion company, and equity markets are going to go with it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this morning's market update. Hope you guys had a great week. Let's close it out green this Friday. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. If you like these morning market updates, would love it and appreciate it if you click the like button below on YouTube. It tells YouTube you guys are liking what you see, and we could reach more friends of ours and grow our family. All right, you guys have yourself a great day. Have a great weekend. Take some time to relax. You've earned it. You deserve it. As traders, it's a hard job, man. Trading is probably the hardest job in the world and also the most rewarding. I'll see you on Monday morning at 9 a.m. We got 2 videos coming out this weekend on YouTube, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday. I can't wait for you guys to see them. Have a great day. Trade well, trade like a trade pro, and manage that risk. I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye. I know what you guys are wondering before I end it. Where can I get the Amazon link to buy Victorio shoes? We'll put it on the description below. See you later, guys. You going to the moon today, Victoria? Hey, there's that market rally after shorts got stuck.